welcome back to Empowering Women and Impacting Lives channel. And today I want to discuss why women should go to college. I wanted to jump on here really quick to encourage women, especially African American women, to go to college, get your degree or get some type of license, take some type of course, whether it's a real estate license or some type of CDL license, cosmetology, insurance agent, whatever your heart desires, and whatever it takes for you to not be dependent on men for your provision. I also wanted to encourage African American women to go to college or get a license or take a course in some area, because a lot of these African American churches, they are teaching Black women to depend on a man's provision. They're teaching us that in a lot of the churches. Not all of them. Not all of the African American churches are teaching that, but the majority of them are. And we have to learn how to depend on ourselves, depend on God and ourselves. Okay? These churches are, most of the African American churches are encouraging Black women to depend on men. And that's not the way. We're in 2023. We're not in the 50s. And that's not the way of life anymore. So I wanted to jump on here and encourage women and why women should go to college. And one of the first reasons that, number one, is that I stated that why women should go to college is so you can be self-sufficient, depend on yourself, and so you won't have to depend on a man's provision. You won't have to depend on a man to provide for you, or you won't have to depend on his money. Always make your own money, women. Always have your own money. Always make your own money. And of course, you know, like I said before, it's not just about a college degree. You can take a course, you can get your CDL license, you can get a cosmetology license, whatever. But just never have the mindset to depend on a man for your financial means. Never have the mindset to be out here looking for a man to provide. Because, you know, there are maybe like a few men out here providing for women, and you know, it's not very many men left that are providing for women today. And I don't care if you do find somebody to provide for you and take care of you. Sooner or later, they're gonna get tired of taking care of you, and they're gonna get tired of providing for you, and they are going to want you to do something, you know, to generate money and bring money into the household. You know, sooner or later, I mean, like I said, a man, he can take care of you for so long, and then he could, you know, he could get burnt out. He can get burnt out from taking care of you, and he gonna want you to do something to bring in some income, and I don't think it's really nothing wrong with that. I feel like in relationships, two people should be working together, helping each other. Men providing for women, that whole mentality, that whole mentality really is old. It's from the 50s and the 60s. And it really played out back in the 50s and 60s. We're not in those times anymore. Back in the 50s, I mean, women, the woman's role was to be the housewife and take care of the kids and cook and clean, and the men's role was to be the provider and be the breadwinner and all that. But we're not living in those times anymore. You know, this is 20 This is 2023, and it's a whole different ball game. You know, back then women were not expected to work, but today women do work. We can go to college, we can have careers, we can start businesses. We don't have to depend on men for money. Women played that submissive role. A lot of them had to play that role because, and a lot of them did play that role because they didn't have any money. A lot of them didn't work. A lot of them, you know, didn't go to school. They didn't have any education. They didn't have any financial means. So they had to depend on men. And whatever he said goes, because that was the times that we were living in back then, and women didn't a lot of women didn't have enough money to provide, to take care of herself, you know. So I just want to get up here and encourage women, you know, allowing a man to provide for you, I feel like that's going back to that 50s mentality, you know, going back to the 50s, going back to that whole era, you know. I believe, I don't know, I believe, if you do get with somebody, I believe y'all should go 50-50, you know, pay something on the bills, you pay something, he pays something, you know, and take turns cooking and cleaning and whatever the case may be on the household chores or whatever, you know. And then, you know, it's a lot of competition out there, you know. Like, if you're the type of woman that's out there looking for a man to provide for you, looking for him to marry you and provide and take care of you, you're in competition with women, and you're also in competition with a lot of the homosexual men and out there too, because, you know, they looking for men too to take care of them, you know. I've seen a lot of men who were providers. They're very controlling, they're very abusive, you know, and then they think they can just go out and do what they want to do because they're paying for everything, you know. When you go half with a man, or you pay, you know, you pay something on the bills, or you go 50-50, whatever the case may be, then he don't hold that power over you because you putting money in right with his money. Y'all both putting money in, you know. So, and you have a say so too what goes on in the household, you know. Sometimes I've seen men where they're providers, and, you know, they taking care of everything, and the women, they don't have a say so in the household, you know, because the man is paying for everything. So I wouldn't put myself in those type of situations, women. Then you have to look at other factors too, women. It's not really good for your mental health to be totally dependent on him, on his money, you know. What if he loses his job? Then what you gonna do then, you know? What if he loses his job and he can't provide for you no more? What you gonna do? You know, then you may be forced to work and go somewhere and work, you know. You know, it's just not it's not good to be dependent on men like that, you know. And the way people are today, they quick to hire you and fire you. They'll hire you and fire you in a minute, fire you as quick as they hire you. You know, I mean, these companies are a trip nowadays, you know. And they have a lot of people going in and out, you know. And they fire people for petty reasons. I mean, you can't depend on no man like that. You have to have your own. You have to have your own. Have your own. You know, be self-sufficient. Be independent and have your own money. You know, and like I said before, it's just not healthy to depend on a man like that for his money, you know. You know, and then I'm gonna say this too as well. most of these men out here, I'm talking about the average everyday man, average everyday men, especially black men, they are not making enough money to provide for women. They're not making enough money. Most of these African American men are making between $15 and $20 an hour. How is he supposed to provide for you off that little bit of income? Now, I'm not talking about these celebrities or these NFL players, these NBA players, singers, these rap stars. I mean, they got big time money, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the average everyday black man that's out there, Now, a lot of times when it comes to Caucasian men and stuff like that, Caucasian men are more career oriented and more likely to go to school and get their education and build a career. A lot of black men, not all of them, now there's some brothers out there that's got their degrees too, but sometimes a lot of black guys get caught up in selling drugs and being in and out of jail or in and out of prison, and and their mindset is different. They rather go run the streets and sell dope than go to college and build a career, and it's not the mindset of all black men, so don't get me wrong, but I'm just speaking, I'm just speaking in general. So, and then you don't want to depend on his money. You don't want to depend on his money. Okay? It's not good for your mental health. It's not good, And then you don't want to get with somebody that's running the streets either, If he go to jail or prison, then there you are stuck again. If you're depending on him providing, you stuck again taking care of yourself. Number 2, why women should go to college. Okay, to keep themselves out of domestic violence situations. A college education can help you get a better paying job, even if you don't get a job in your field, you can get a job that pays more money and stay there until something else opens up. Another job opens up in your field. And then you're able to support yourself financially. And not only can you do this with a college degree, you can do this with real estate license, certificates, CDL license. It's not just all about college and a degree, but that's part of it, because everybody doesn't want to go to college, and college isn't for everybody. I understand that, but I'm just trying to encourage women to get something up under your belt. Get something up under your belt. Do something for yourself so you won't be out here depending on men. And a college education, a degree, can help you. It can stop you from being in domestic violence situations. Like I said before, you don't have to be out here looking for a man's provision, and then all of a sudden you start dating him, y'all, start living together, and come to find out this man's abusive. You moved in with him, or he moved in with you. You know what I'm saying? And because you cannot afford to live on your own financially, because you can't support yourself financially. You're not making enough money. So you made that decision to move with him. He paying the bills, but he abusive. He start hitting on you, beating you, all this other stuff. You know what I'm like? Why would you put yourself through that? Why would you want to put yourself through that? And when you don't have to, all you have to do is go to school. Go to school, get your degree, get your license and whatever you want. nurse aide, whatever, you know, it's hair, nails, whatever, you know, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do for you, you know, to take care of you. And then all of a sudden, you know, and then I see a lot of women, you know, they in these domestic violence situations when they don't even have to be, you know, and it's a lot to think about, you know. A degree can save you. It can save you from that domestic violence situation, and being with men that you really don't have no business being with, or being with men that, you know, you wouldn't have been with before if you could take care of yourself, you know. Just it can help you support yourself, you know. Okay? Why women should go to college. Earn a degree, certificate, trade. Also, you know, starting a business. That's a good one too. Starting a business as well. All right. It allows you the opportunity to make more money. You get financial aid, student loans, and of course you have to pay the loans back and stuff like that. But when you're in college and you're getting your degree and everything, you pay for your books and your courses, your classes, and then what you have left, you can use that to help pay towards your rent, or pay towards whatever expenses you have, you know, while you're getting your education. Some of these places will give you $6,000-7,000 a semester. It just depends on the college and how much you get, how much you are able to get back for financial aid or for student loans, you know. And that's something that you have to work out with your financial aid advisor or counselor at your school, you know. Also, a degree, it qualifies you for the higher paying jobs, you know. It's hard to make it off of $15 an hour, $17 an hour, $20 an hour. Everything is going up now. I mean, stuff is skyrocket high. Groceries skyrocket high. The rent, they're going up on the rent. You know, this is like a constant thing. They're going to keep going up on the rent and stuff. And then, you know, they're going up on utilities and all this stuff. You know, Ameren, all of a sudden, out the blue, they want a deposit. Like, when have y'all ever asked for a deposit from people? You know, I've never had them ask me for a deposit, but now all of a sudden, I mean, this stuff is just skyrocket high. And everybody's trying, even these businesses, especially businesses that know you need their services, like Ameren and all that, they're trying to make ways to charge more money. And, you know, it's, and the cost of living is high. You know, the cost of living is high. And especially when you got 2 kids, the cost of living is high. You know, and it's like everything's going up but the wages. People's wages, everything is going up, but the wages and you know, what people make, unless you got an education and you can get those good paying jobs and get those bonuses and, you know, move up the, you know, the ladder and stuff like that. But I'm talking about people that's on these regular jobs, I mean, that don't have no education. I mean, it's harder, you know, because you will live paycheck to paycheck, you know. All right, why women should go to college. A degree is one of the ways, it's not the only way, but it's one of the ways that can lift you up out of poverty and out of the lower class economic status. It can lift you up out of poverty because it can help you get a better paying job, you know, help you get a job where you can pay your bills and you ain't got to work 2 or 3 jobs, you know, to try to make ends meet. You know, you can work 1 job and relax. All right, why women should go to college. Set you free from that slave mentality for all women. Sets you free from being a slave to a man, serving and submitting to a man. All that bullshit they teaching us, serve and submit and all this stuff. A college degree, your own money, a college degree, help you. It sets you free from that. Because, you know, you get your degree, you get your education, your degree, and, you know, you can pay for your own stuff. Submit to what? And submit for what? You know, we're not in the 50s no more. You know, you can stand up to that. Because you got your own money. You know, you able to make your own money, you know. And then if you go back to slavery times, slaves, you know, they had to submit to the slave masters, and they had to, you know, if they didn't obey them, they got beat. And that's the same shit they doing today in a lot of these relationships. You supposed to submit. You supposed to submit to me, or women are supposed to submit. And then, you know, and then if you don't, you get up under that control, you know, up under that slave stuff, you know, then you don't do what they say do, honey. Then they start thinking they can beat on you or push you or whatever the case may be. And then, and education sets you free from depending on a man's money. Set you free. Set you free from that slave mentality of women being slaves to men, women being inferior to men. You're not inferior to no man. A man is not above you, and you're not above a man, but he's not above you either, you know. The education sets you free from that. So, women, I just wanted to step on here. I don't want to make this video too long. And encourage and empower women. Get your education, get your degree, start your business. You know what I'm saying? Start your LLC, start your sole proprietorship, whatever. Get your license, your cosmetology license, CDLs, property manager, whatever it takes for you to be self-sufficient and depend on yourself. Do it, you know. Do it and do it and get it, you know. Because like I said before, even if you do find a man to take care of you, sooner or later, he gonna get tired of taking care of you, and he gonna want you to do something to bring in some money, to bring in some income. Women, be self-sufficient. Take care of yourself. Have your own money. Always have your own money. He could wake up and, you know, y'all have been together for years, and then all of a sudden, oh, you know how these men get. Oh, well, honey, we didn't grow apart. I want a divorce. You know, you just cannot depend on men like that. You can't. And don't depend on a man to take care of you. Always have your own money, women. Always. Again, be self-sufficient. Take care of yourself. Have your own money. Always have your own money. Always have your own money. And don't depend on a man's income to take care of you. All right, ladies. I think I'm going to end it there. Subscribe to my channel for more videos on empowering women and impacting lives. And I will see you in my next video.
Miraculously clear, I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, wow. There I go.